That's good there. Got it. Content's being sent to a third party. Are we okay with that? I don't know. Are we okay with that? Let's go ahead and record.
So you gotta teach me how you do all this.
I know this is fun, and I just like to because I'm a little obsessed. I just like to make sure it's actually live. It is. Okay, good. There we go.
Oh, we're like in
Look at how cute we are.
we're two spots.
We are too. No, I don't want that to distract you. Is that going to distract you, Jesse?
Oh, it's
No, you don't watch that.
it's
You look
reading
at
everything
here.
we say. Okay,
It is.
I got it.
I know
I
it's
got
like this delay. Isn't
really
technology
live.
amazing?
Man.
I am so excited, you guys. I have Jesse Myles in the house today. Woo woo, Jesse
Hey.
Myles, woo. Yay, Jesse is ready. Jesse is somebody that I've known quite a few years, and I've watched you grow into a leader. I mean, you already were a leader, but it's just really fun being part of your journey. And I think you have an amazing story, and I think you're an amazing person. So just thank you for being on my show today, Jesse Myles.
Thank you for having me.
Drove all the way in from
big old city of Killeen, Texas.
City of Killeen, Texas. How long did that take you?
Oh, about an hour.
It was an hour. So he drove an hour to be sitting in this chair with me today.
Of course, when the boss asks you to come, you show up.
Man, I see. I think it's funny because the irony is when you're a team leader, like they call you the boss, but really you just work for everybody else.
Yes.
So thanks for making me feel that way. That's awesome.
Oh, no.
Well, you know, Jesse, though, I just love you as a human too. You're a really great person. You have an interesting background, and
thank
you know, you're very committed to greatness in yourself and others, which is one of my personal favorites.
Oh,
as you know, right? We have a lot of fun stories, and I'm really excited about being in Vegas.
Oh, yes.
In a couple weeks.
Reunion.
That's right.
2024.
That's gonna be fun, and I can edit all that out later. But because I like to make this timeless, because I like to just share stories. My listeners like coming to my podcast because I bring to them people that are winning in life.
Oh yeah.
And I think you're a winner in life.
I appreciate that.
You really are.
You have a lot to do with that.
Oh, you're very kind.
This company and you,
You're
and
very kind.
a lot of team leaders.
Yeah.
Along the way there.
Who you surround yourself with matters.
Yes.
And that's, you know, that's what I've learned. And that's what you lead. Like you have somebody on your team with you that take the drive in instead of just coming by yourself. You brought a junior agent.
No.
And you always have somebody under your wing, and you're always like lighting the way for people, which is cool.
It's an hour drive to keep me awake.
I know, right? Hey, you can do some cold calls while we're coming through, right? Call that. Did you call that buyer? All right. Well, let's talk about that. I like to start these of just you know, who's Jesse Myles? Like, let's talk about like, where did you grow up? I like to say the history kind of my guest, and then we can go wherever we want with that. But let's talk about your background. Like, where'd you grow up?
Well, growing up, I was a military brat.
Okay, so your family was military.
Yes, my dad.
Oh, okay. So not just you. Okay.
Yes, it's a long line.
Yeah.
Then my dad was all over the place.
Okay.
You know, listen to my mom tell stories about when I was a little baby in Korea.
Oh wow.
Speaking Korean, yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Been to Germany.
Yeah.
The longest that we stayed was in California, Seaside, California, Monterey.
Okay, let's get it right.
Yeah, I did at Seaside, California. Just in case my mom and sisters listening.
Yeah.
You know.
This is for mom and sister.
Yes, right outside of Fort Ord.
Okay.
I graduated from Seaside High back in '92. Like I said, that was the longest place that we stayed.
So that was the most like home when you were growing up.
Yes.
So do you remember the international places that you lived? Do you remember that at all, or were you a baby?
I remember in Germany, I was like third grade, I believe.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. It was back in the '80s.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh, wait a minute. Back in the '80s. Right. Yeah. And then of course I remember high school.
A lot.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of lessons when you're moving around a lot as a young person. I mean,
yeah, you learn to make friends easy. It's easy to make friends, and you know, always a new guy.
Yeah, you're always the new guy. It's not just moving around a city, right? Like I moved a lot around in the one city, but I was there from like 4th grade to 12th grade. So I only changed schools once, but I moved houses a lot, but I still had the same friends. When you go and you move to another city, it's a new school, there's a lot of like life lessons you learn early on, I think, don't you think?
Oh yeah, and sometimes like my middle school, I had a couple friends from Germany that came to middle school, you know, and we went to high school like maybe like 5 or 6.
Okay.
So
nice.
it wasn't always changing like
Yeah.
a whole group of friends, but sometimes,
Yeah.
you get lucky and, the
Mhm.
military connect. Military is small, it's a small community.
Yeah, people don't
Um,
really know that. I'm learning a lot about just like the military and all that. It's like a whole different world, right?
Oh,
And
yeah.
the connections that you
The connections, the
build,
bonds, yeah.
you have for life with
Oh, yeah.
people, right? Yeah, that's pretty cool. Okay, so then you went to high school
Yeah.
in just outside of Monterey in
Seaside, California.
and then what happened?
I decided to join the military.
Oh, you went right in after high school.
Oh yeah, I was in
Oh, wow.
I was in the late entry program.
Late entry,
Yeah,
what's that?
means I signed. My mom had to sign a permission slip for me to sign because I had to leave home.
Okay. Oh,
So I signed up at like 17.
oh, because you were
Yeah.
not 18 yet.
I wasn't
Okay.
18 yet, so
Okay.
my mom signed a permission slip for
Okay.
me to.
She's like,
Yeah,
okay.
she was happy. Yeah, she was very happy. Like, hey.
She's like, Jesse, I have raised you. You got this. You got
Yes.
this. Okay. And you went into Army.
Yeah.
Okay.
Went into the Army. I was aviation operations specialist. That was my job.
Aviation operations specialist. Now, did you know you wanted to do that or like your whole life, or was this something like it just seemed like the next thing to do because your parents had role modeled that for you?
Honestly, and anybody who knows me, I'm very transparent. Actually, I got in my buddy's car when I made the decision. We drove to Monterey to the career counseling areas.
Okay.
They had the Air Force, Navy, Marines. The Navy guy was always calling me. At first I went to the Air Force door. It was locked. So I just went next door and signed up for the Army.
Hey, Army had better hours. So that was, it's kind of like real estate, right?
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
hilarious.
Exactly.
Well,
Exactly.
missed opportunity.
Yeah, the Army recruiter met his quota that day.
Okay.
So
you knew you were going to enlist in something.
Yes. I was at
Okay.
that time in my life, I would say where, I had to make a decision to do something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, tell me more about that. You're not telling me something. You knew you had to do something because
Yes.
was school your thing? Did you like school? Did you not like school?
At that time, school was not my thing.
Okay, yeah,
School
that's
wasn't
where
my
I'm going.
thing.
Okay, school was not your
Um,
thing. So
yeah.
like college was not really on the
No,
table.
college wasn't on the table.
So was it the idea of travel? Like what about that intrigued you as a young man?
I was
Besides getting out of the house.
I was leaving home. I kind of, how can I say, when I was making the decision to join any service to get out of home, I wasn't living at home. I was living with a couple of friends.
Okay, so you'd already.
And
Mhm.
oddly enough,
Okay.
my friends I was living with, when they made the announcement to me that they were leaving and moving to Texas, and I was like, I never live in Texas. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Love when that happens in life.
but yeah,
Mhm.
from that day, that's the day we went to the recruiter's office.
Okay,
And
so it just felt like the right thing to do because
Oh,
everything
yeah.
was changing and you could be in kind of control. of
Yeah, I
your-
needed
your
a job.
You needed a job.
needed a job.
Yeah,
Had to-
you needed a job, an opportunity. Okay,
Yeah.
great. So you enlist in the Army, then what happened? You're 17 years old.
Yeah, 17 years old. Went to basic training, AIT in Fort Rucker, Alabama. That's home of Army Aviation.
Okay, and
High above the rest. And then my first duty assignment was Fort Drum, New York. And from there, I got sent to a lovely place called Somalia. I was in Mogadishu. Well, first started in Balidogo, and then when the UN took over, we was in Mogadishu. I was, I tell everybody who's seen the movie Black Hawk Down, my favorite line in the movie is, "Hey, call 10th Mountain for help." I was in 10th Mountain at the time
Wow,
when all that stuff was going down.
that must have impacted you at such a young age to
Oh yeah,
be part of
it was
that.
a big impact.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Is that with the picture that we had?
No. That
Different
was
enough?
later on
Okay,
in my military
Right.
career.
okay.
So yeah, so that was my first deployment, first duty station. Then from there, Army wise, I went.
You were in there for a while, right?
Yeah, I spent 20 years.
You were
20
a
years in the
career
Army.
guy there, 20 years yeah, that's
Yeah,
amazing.
spent 20
Thank
years.
you for your service.
Oh, thank you. So after Fort Drum, I proceeded to Fort Rucker.
Okay.
After Fort Rucker, went to Korea, lived in Korea for a year, then went back to Fort Rucker. I had a little stint. I tried out for special forces back in 2001. Got accepted, went to the Q course a
Wow,
little
special
bit.
forces.
Yeah.
Now we're talking.
um,
Totally fits.
if you
you
look,
going
if
for
you listen, if you listen to the time period I signed up, it was right when
Oh,
9/11 happened. Actually,
yeah,
I was in airborne school when the towers got
Oh,
hit.
gosh.
And that was a scary time for us
Of course
because
it
we didn't
was.
know
Yeah,
what was going on.
right.
But while I was going through the Q course, um, I decided to go back to aviation. So from there, I went to Alaska, lived in Alaska for a couple of years, down in Fairbanks, Alaska. Um, then I got sent to Texas. Imagine,
That's
never
funny.
wanting to live in Texas, and
Yeah.
here I am.
And here you are. So you got
Yeah.
sent here, and that's where you finished your career here? Your military
Um,
career or what?
no, after
okay.
after being stationed at Hood for about 3 years, I got sent to nice, beach area called Iraq.
Oh,
That was had nice sunny beaches there
yeah.
for a little bit.
Yeah.
Then went to Germany,
Mhm.
your favorite spot there.
Yeah. I
That was
I
in
did like Germany.
yeah, about 80 miles from Munich.
Oh, very, very nice. So
Um
beautiful down there.
in
Southern.
Holmesfels.
Okay, very
Yeah.
nice. Yeah. That's beautiful down there.
And
Well, you got to see the world. I mean, that's 20 years of your life, though.
oh yeah,
That's a
so
big
we're-
part of your life,
yeah,
right?
oh yeah.
What
Yeah.
what was your role when you ended up retiring from the military?
I was a observation controller
Okay.
for the UAV integration with the I say drones and helicopters,
Okay.
mixing
Yeah.
making sure they would, just coming up with like recon SOPs
You know,
and
you
all
all
that fun
have your own
stuff.
language. I'm learning.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to decipher. Like,
I had, someone else on before, Cody, and he was like, yeah. I was like, can you please translate that for me? So
yes,
I think I followed you. But it was the drones
yes,
and the anything aviation kind of that
yes,
touched the
yes,
army.
in like in
Okay.
operations,
Okay.
in the operations world,
Yeah.
right
Okay.
there. Yeah.
What made you know that it was time to retire?
Actually, I made a retirement. Like I said, once again, I'm full transparent. When they sent me to Fort Polk, Louisiana,
Oh,
I did not want to be there. So I was like,
Yeah.
you know what?
yeah. Think I've had enough.
Yeah, I was right at my 19-year mark. So like, you know what?
Wow.
Not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So did that lead you right to real estate or what happened then?
Actually, I had a couple job offers because like the tail end of my career, I got heavily involved in the UAV world.
Okay.
The
What's
unmanned,
UAV?
my bad, unmanned aerial vehicle. Like
Okay, so
everybody calls them drones
drones,
or
unmanned, say it again?
unmanned aerial vehicles.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Okay, the things
So
that are up in the air that drive around without people in them.
there you go.
Okay, for all
There
the
you go.
listeners, okay. I just want to make sure our listeners understand this, so just check it.
And this
Okay.
is a good story.
Yeah.
My mom, for those who don't know me, my mom, she gave up a career working in civil service to sell real estate full time and just sales. And I'm talking about, walk away from guaranteed retirement, this and that, to get in real estate.
Wow.
So here I am.
I didn't realize that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, that's amazing.
oh yeah,
That's amazing.
yeah.
Cool. So you saw her do it.
I saw her do it.
Yeah.
However, and I still keep the job offers in my email just to remind me sometime. But she told me, she's like, hey, why are you gonna go back overseas? Because where the jobs were at.
Yeah.
One was working in base operations
Okay.
at an airfield in Kuwait, and another one was doing the UAV thing in small groups with
Okay.
different units.
All across the world kind of thing.
Well, over in the desert.
In the desert.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. And the question was, did you really want that for the next?
Well, no, I was going for the money. I'm
Okay.
very money motivated. If anybody,
Let's be.
There's no-
Hey, I just want to keep it real in this podcast. And that's exactly. And there's nothing wrong with that. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with being financially driven
Right.
to fund the life that you want to have. Nothing wrong with that.
so my mom was like, hey, because I got licensed while I was still in the military
Okay. So you were still,
in-
okay.
in
Yeah.
2006.
Okay.
So here I am, 2012, retiring. She said, why don't you go back to selling real estate? That way your income is dependent on you. If you, like I'm turning down a 6-figure job, and she's like, well, you can make that doing real estate if you get your butt out there and do it,
Love that.
you know.
Yeah. Had you
So-
sold anything between 2006 and the time you stepped out of the military? Like, had you sold a house here and there?
Yes, when I came back from Iraq,
Okay.
I had had about like 6 months before going to my next assignment was supposed to be in Italy, but I got diverted to Germany.
Okay.
I sold like 2 new builds.
Oh, wow. Just
Stuff
from
like
like
that.
friends you knew and stuff like that, military
No.
people? No,
No,
just people
hanging out the builder.
hanging out with the builder.
Yeah.
Okay. Cause
Yeah.
that's what
There was
you
a-
did.
There was a builder that wanted somebody to sit in the model home, and I was like, I'll do it.
Okay, I'll do it. Okay, got you 2 deals out of that, and you're like, wow, that's probably like those 2 deals probably were, a good chunk of change.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
nice. Like while I was, and I'll go back a little bit. When I got licensed in 06, and there's some old folks in Killeen that would tell you that when they knew me when I first started, I didn't know what a 1-to-4 contract was because I took everybody to new homes. I was
New homes
leveraging,
guy.
lever- leveraging my time,
Sure.
and at one point I was making more selling real estate than I was as an E7
Mhm.
in the military.
Which is a level of something, right?
Yeah, on the enlisted side, it goes to 9.
Okay,
So yeah,
so it's pretty high ranking person.
yeah, it's like sergeant. Yes, sergeant
like a
first
what?
class. Sergeant first class.
Thank
My
you.
bad. I'm sorry. I apologize to everybody
I
out there.
have some listeners that are military who would know that, but
Yeah.
thank you for teaching me. I'm just asking for myself because I honestly don't know. So I'm learning. Okay, so keep
Yeah.
going. Okay, so that's interesting.
So I
You were
just
the new home guy, right? You knew leverage from early on, and that's interesting because you grew a team very quickly. I didn't really realize that you until this podcast that you didn't really get full time till 2012. Holy cow!
yeah, after I retired in 2012.
Oh my gosh. Okay,
Yeah.
that's so cool. All right, cool. Because I was already in Austin, but you and I weren't working together.
No, we were just
closely yet because I was at the South.
yeah.
Yeah.
You
so,
was
okay.
hanging out with the cool kids.
Oh, whatever. The cool kids we are the cool kids. I mean, I noticed that we
Yeah, we are the
cool
yes.
kids. Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
But yeah, so like I said, once I made that determination, it was like, that was my drive. Like, okay, I'm giving up this, which is, once everybody that's been in the military, their goal is like, hey, I want to get out, make 6 figures, whatever. I was like, well, if I'm giving that up by real estate, then I really have to do it.
Yeah.
And then that's when, like you said, I came because I was part of the Waco Market Center.
Okay. When you first started?
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay.
And then
Yeah.
came and hang out,
Yeah.
met you guys,
Yeah.
and
You're like, I like these awesome people.
yeah, the awesome, want to be with the cool kids.
See,
Yeah.
we are the cool kids.
But-
So, but no offense, we love our Waco friends. But question I have for you, when you're 19 years, this is because I really don't know, and I'm fascinated by this.
Hmm.
So when you're 19 years serving, like you served, is there any kind of retirement? Or is
Yes,
it
at 20 years.
20 years is the
Yeah.
retirement that you have some kind of pension or something?
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, I was wondering. I figured there must be for that
Oh, yeah.
longevity. Okay, good. So you had that as well.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
But it was only
But it's
like
not
half
gonna-
half
yeah.
my base
Oh, yeah,
pay.
yeah. It's not enough to fund the
Yeah.
life that you want, but that's pretty cool that exists.
Make a house payment.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there you
that's it.
go. That's
Still gotta
good,
eat,
though.
still gotta eat.
You still gotta eat.
I'm
That's
a big boy. You gotta eat.
yeah. Okay, so let's talk about, so 2012, you go all in, you partner up with Austin, then what happens? You start building your team right away?
Well,
Or did it come later?
it came a little bit later. There was a couple I'll say classes, a couple people I watched.
Okay,
I want to say about like 2013, 14. That's when I met Tim Hile at one of his things when he was doing the real estate machine.
nice.
And sat down and talked with him, and he had the title company.
Mhm.
Him and Chris Waters had the title company
Yeah, right.
up there, and I just started hanging out once again, just hanging out. And then also during that time in the market center, we had Andy out. The market center was
Oh. Yeah,
full of
yeah, beast. Yeah.
yes,
Yeah,
and just sit back and just watch and say, you know what, I
yeah,
want to do what they're doing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Those are
Roger.
all former episodes, by
Yeah.
the way. I've got Andy Allen episode, Tim Hile. So
Yes,
we got Jesse Myles. This is
and
great.
Jeff Slank and
Yeah,
Roger.
yeah,
They
Yeah.
all had a mixture of like just watching and
yeah.
challenging each other. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
Yep,
That's
and,
great.
And then Michelle, she was like, "Hey, you need to do this," and I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah,
Got to the production that they said I had to do,
yeah.
and
And all of
The
a sudden it was
rest is-
happening for you.
Yeah, it
So,
just
you know, it's interesting. So because I've only known you as having a team already. Like when I met you, you already had your team and things like that. So what if you're,
revision when you
yeah, that's right. Career vision, my jam, you know,
Yeah.
my favorite thing to teach. What, tell me, like, what does your team look like today?
right now got a total of like 10 members.
Okay.
10 members. Got operations, got a lead director and TC
Yeah.
management
And
and the rest of the agents.
and the rest are agents. And I noticed you're not wearing your medallion.
Oh,
What happened?
I
You gave it.
I gave it to Robert to make sure I didn't
okay.
lose it.
Okay.
I'm
So
sorry.
anyway, so he has
I
a
didn't know the
platinum.
props.
Yeah.
You have another one. Just give me another
I know, right? Just give me
one. I give it back.
So anyway, the listeners are like, what's happening now? Because they're not seeing this, but the people that are watching live. So at Keller Williams, we have medallion level and your team was platinum. That's pretty impressive.
Explain to me what platinum is again.
It's all different production
Oh,
levels, right?
okay,
And
yeah.
so it's a GCI or unit based.
Okay.
And it starts at bronze and it goes bronze, you know, all the
Okay.
levels up. So it's getting up towards the top
Oh,
there.
man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're doing really good. Okay, so tell me this. So where do you, so now you're like Killeen, Austin, kind of all over North Austin and Killeen and all those areas? Or
Right.
where do you guys
No-
focus your business?
Right now, a lot of team members are focusing on Killeen. I have 2 agents that are focusing here on the Austin area.
Yeah.
And then, as I explained to you earlier, myself, really the Killeen, because I'm getting ready to start to build 18 homes.
That's right. Let's talk
Down
about that. So, you know, part of wealth building is also what you do yourself. It's not, you know, we talk a lot about, you know, real estate and because we work with a lot of our listeners are real estate agents, right? And I have people that are not in real estate at all, but you think about the money you make, whatever money you're making, whether it's from real estate or it's whatever job you have, that's not what makes you wealthy, right?
Right.
It's what you do with it.
Exactly.
And you're always working on some deal on how to make that money work for you.
Yes.
Right. And so right now you have a partner and you guys are about to
Yes.
launch what, 18 units somewhere? You're waiting.
Yeah,
on
we're
development?
getting ready to build 18 residential homes. We just got approved from the planning and zoning there in
Nice.
Killeen.
Nice.
So just waiting for the deed to be recorded.
Okay. And then when
Okay.
can that start?
Hopefully by spring.
Okay.
Hopefully by spring we'll.
Okay. That's awesome. But that's the kind of exciting thing of like, can you imagine like back in your military life, like that being you? Or did you always have that investment mind, like I want to do that someday?
Well, going back to my time in Alaska, it was me and another friend. We discovered. I'm really about to tell how old I am. Remember that guy Carlton Sheets?
I don't know.
Buying homes for $1.
Okay.
It was like an
Maybe I
investor,
just
the
wasn't paying
investor,
attention. Okay.
like the late night infomercial.
Okay.
You know, then going to all the investor workshops back then.
Okay.
You know, buying house, no money down, this and that. That really sparked my interest alongside with my mom. But that really I was like dove in, and then when I got stationed here in Texas, my agent, he was he had just got out the military. He did the same job that I did in the Army. So he was very like, hey, you could do this, this and that. So I got my license. I got my license, finished my last class while I was on duty, while Hurricane Katrina was going on. I was on the radio with the helicopters that were down there. And I was plugging away, knocking out my online classes.
But
Yeah,
it's it's naturally evolved into that though, right?
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
you
it
didn't
was a
always know
progression.
like that's what I want to do, right? It's kind of like evolved
Yeah.
into like I'm doing it, I'm helping, and now how can I even do this on a larger scale? And you
Yeah.
started getting really interested in different investments and
Yeah.
stuff like that. It's pretty
But
cool.
that comes from hanging out with, like yourself and
Yeah,
other people
the
around
millionaire
in the
whisperer,
office.
right?
Yeah, that's right. That's the nickname. That's the nickname. That's what y'all
That is the
think
best
about the
nickname.
agents that you have
That's right.
talked to, coached up, and where they're at now.
Like, man, that was one of the biggest compliments though, when you said, man, when I moved here full time, I was already the OP and you're like, okay, this is going to be good. And he's like, the millionaire whisperer just
That's it.
arrived.
That's
I was like, that is the best nickname I think I've ever gotten. I love that. Jesse, I think one of the things that I really love about watching you is that you really have a lot of accountability with your people. And so maybe that comes from the 20 years in the Army, being in the military. I don't know, but you really rely on systems, but you're people person, right? And
Right.
people aren't always systems people, but you really jump into all the systems and the boomtown and all the different things to like a structured environment in a very entrepreneurial world.
Right. In the military, yes, helped with that. But also I like seeing other people win,
Mhm.
you
Yeah.
know. And it's really hard to motivate yourself sometimes because all the self-talk that
Yeah.
we're telling ourselves.
That's right.
I read that in a book somewhere. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't make none of this up.
Well, right. We're all just, yeah, exactly. We all are sponges from things we learn. So, okay. So how do you stay so positive? Because you're one of the most positive people that I know, and I'm pretty positive. But I look at you and I'm like, man, that guy's got me beat. You're like always like, hey, let's take on the world. Like, how do you stay? Is that who you are, or is that a choice that you're making every day?
I believe it's who I am and the choice that I make every day. Because I mean, you can wake up in the morning and find something to complain about, but
Yeah.
miss the greatest gift that God gave you by waking up. You know, so what are you gonna do with your gift? Beside
That's good.
moping around, that
That's
ain't gonna
right.
solve nothing.
Some people didn't wake up.
Yeah, some people exactly. Some people didn't wake up this morning, and we're not being shot at, so
So it's
you
kind
can't
of
beat
a
it.
gratitude. I love that. I love that so much. I love that so much. Okay, so question I ask all my guests. Here it comes. What does playing to win look like for Jesse Myles?
I would say pretty much, setting. I'm not gonna say goals, but setting a series of commitments and knocking them out. Designing your life how you want it. I think we have a class on that or something like that. I don't know. Uh,
Business Objective, Life by Design.
exactly.
Well, I've heard of that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Is there one coming up?
I think in April.
Oh, in April.
I think you'll be there.
Yes.
Exactly.
I should get a commission off of how many people
That's right.
sign up.
And no,
after
I
this.
don't. You know what?
Use
You
promo
should get a
code
commission. I
JMyles.
don't get a commission either. So I just get rewarded because we get to see the impact it makes in people's lives.
Yes.
That's our commission.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. About 13 bowls in now.
Yeah, 13 of them, right? Which is
Yeah.
an 8-week accountability class we do here at Keller Williams. It's all about mindset, productivity, the habits. It's pretty cool. You see
Yep.
people having breakthroughs in the room.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That helps.
That's pretty awesome. Okay, so just so about playing to win for you.
Yes.
Go back to you were talking, then we got
Just having enough discipline to stay committed to what you want to achieve.
Okay.
To your
Yeah.
commitments that you make to yourself, that you make to others.
Yeah.
I'm easy going.
Okay, I love that. Let me ask you a question. Ready?
Oh, here we go.
I can tell you get nervous. I just feel compelled to ask you this. What's the hardest thing you had to get through and persevere in life for you? Like, because for me, that's playing to win, because it's like you learn from your good stuff, but I think we learn more from the things that are really hard in our life.
Mhm.
And I know that you come across like everything's been a walk in the park for you. And I know that is not the truth. For any of us, it's not for me either, right?
Yeah.
So what are the things, and in a way that you're proud of, like what is something that you had to overcome in your life that kind of helped define who you are today? Can you think of something?
Yeah, I
I
guess
didn't prep him for that one, so
I wasn't prepped for
apologize.
that.
Yeah.
I would say really just a lot of self-doubt, self-talk, and telling yourself, oh, you'll never do that, this and that. And
Yeah.
but once again, when you achieve it, then you're like, okay.
Yeah.
And then really buying in to the system. I'm not gonna lie to you, when I first joined Keller Williams back in 2008, I did millionaire. Okay, what's that?
Yeah.
It wasn't until 2012, and she's a bowl coach now. Ida, she took me up to Flower Mound, Texas, and
Nice.
up to Denton, Texas, and I met folks that are in the back pages of that book, and I'm like, okay, this shit might work. I mean,
Yeah. That's all right. It's okay.
No, I'm sorry.
No, it's all right.
But I mean, for real, I would say that would be my biggest. That was my biggest challenge, and actually,
Was here.
Yeah.
Was your
Just saying, no, that's
you can't.
that's
do
something
it.
that they do. I can't do
Yeah,
that. This
It's
and that.
not me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But when seeing others do it, and also having other folks help you,
Yeah.
genuinely
And
help you,
being
like
open for that too.
exactly.
And being able to be a receiver, because sometimes
Yeah.
when you're the person helping everybody and you're the leader, like in 20 years in the Army, you're in this high ranking position, you're just a natural leader. Like sometimes it's difficult for people to take the help of other people.
Yeah.
And it takes a very confident person to be open and say, I'm here to learn, right?
Mhm.
And so that's interesting. I love that answer, because I think a lot of people, what holds them back in life is exactly what you just said.
Yeah.
Is their own limiting beliefs about themselves. And what it comes down to is they don't believe that they're worthy.
Yep.
In so many things, whether it's their money,
Yep.
love, all the things, people just don't realize that about themselves. And when you can fix that,
Oh yeah.
and you can overcome that, my gosh, your whole world just opens up for you, right?
Yeah, it does. I mean,
So did you
Hmm.
so you just kind of just started doing the work on yourself, and then you just got into action on it, and then at one point
Kind
you
of
just
both.
actually believed it?
kind of both. Just went out there,
Okay.
created the chaos, and like, wow.
Okay, create the chaos
You know?
and I'll figure it out.
Yeah, and like I said, a lot of team leaders along the way. You know, one guy, am I allowed to say his name?
Let's not.
I'm not gonna say his name.
Not on my podcast.
But then, yeah. But then after that,
Who's that part?
then after that team leader,
Former
you
leader
know,
of yours. Yeah,
yeah,
let's leave it at
you
that.
know, then we had Paul and Michelle
Yeah.
and
yeah.
yourself. I mean, really, what you guys were pouring into the market center, the classes, I would say ALC,
Yeah.
that helped.
Being an agent leader council. Yeah. Yeah.
That helped out a lot.
Yeah. So surrounding yourself by the right conversations and the
Mhm.
right people that thought differently, right? It's
Yeah.
amazing what can happen though.
Yeah, I mean,
Because I've seen you grow so much in these last, and I didn't realize 2012 was when you really started building that team. And you know, you think about that, and you think about like what's holding you back, and you see people transition. Like now, when you look at that, like what are you most excited about?
for the future.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, wow.
Anything in particular? Like when you say the future, what do you mean specifically?
What do you want me to say? I know what you want me
No,
to say.
don't.
I know what you
not
want me to
least
say.
you.
I know you want me to say.
No, I know. I know. Are we talking business or personal? We go both sides on this show. Well, okay. I do want to go there though.
Okay.
I want to go personal.
All right. Personal for future wise.
Yeah.
You know, my fiance.
I do. Which
You know,
you proposed.
We're engaged.
She's another KW agent, and I got to see y'all fall in love. It's like, are they together? Are they not together? Are they together? But I got to tell you, that was something I watched you kind of open up for, because I don't know if you were like really ever ready for this kind of relationship in your life, because you kind of seemed like, you know, I'm just gonna work.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden Melissa shows up,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And all of a sudden you're all engaged in front of the Eiffel Tower, right? All the things.
Yes. We had engaged in Paris. Yes.
Okay, so back to you. What are you excited about in the personal side
Like
of
the
life?
future,
Yeah.
you know, how we, you know, we're planning a wedding next year,
Okay.
2025, in the, I don't know, spring, summertime. Right, we're still trying to narrow down a date on that.
How fun to be in the same space like that. You're both in real estate.
Oh yeah.
That makes it, I think, more fun.
Yeah, the
right?
conversations are
Yeah.
scripted.
Oh, yeah, exactly. You're like, I can see what you're doing. I saw that.
Exactly. I get accused of that a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, because you're good at your conversations, darling. If you don't talk to Jesse Myles, he is smooth like butter. You got it.
But when I finish these 18 houses, to see where we go with that.
That's amazing.
You know,
that's amazing. And you'll sell all those, obviously, you know.
Oh,
yeah, your own things that you're building with a partner. That's incredible. Okay, so if you think about, and this one, the last one I asked you was like kind of emotional, but this one is more like when you look at all of your career, like your career path and kind of everything you've accomplished, what are you most proud of?
Well, I could say this. I'm proud of agents that have left my team and become very successful. Yeah. You know, and it's always good to get a phone call from them. Yeah. You know, in the military, you know, we joke around that it's tight knit, but you never want to be that NCO, non-commissioned officer, or sergeant, where they just calling you for your barbecue recipe. Right. You know, but when people are calling you for your leadership advice or advice on other things, that is like, okay. Yeah. You know. Yeah. So that's always, I know, of course, having a team, like, oh, they left me this and that, but hey, somebody wrote a book about the law of the lid or something like that. I don't know. Right. I don't read a lot.
Apparently you do though. You pick the good ones though. You're reading them, that you're reading the good ones. Yeah.
Yeah. But that really, because this is why I kind of started a team. Okay. You know, I love that. You know, to instill in others like, hey, this is a good company that has a good models and systems to follow. become a great real estate agent.
You know, the law of the lid, I'm glad you brought that up, right? That's a John Maxwell from the 21 irrefutable
Irrefutable
laws
laws, I can't
of
pronounce
leadership.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, irrefutable. I can't spell it either. As an English major for 9 years in Germany, it just completely messed me up. But you think about the law of the lid is the first one. I think it's also the most powerful one
Mhm.
because it's saying the lid of the leader is the ceiling of everybody around him, right? And so you'll never be around smarter people unless you're have a really right
Yeah.
like Gary Keller is the law of the lid
Yeah.
in Keller Williams,
Mhm.
no doubt, right?
Oh, yeah.
And so surrounding yourself with the right people. So who are you being for the people? If you do have a team, if you're listening to this, you know, who are you showing up as? So that's why I think when you say that for yourself is how are you showing up for your people?
Exactly.
That's what I say to myself every day. That's why I'm always doing growth and I'm very loud about it because the better and more in touch with who I am and my gifts and what I can bring back to you guys, the
Yeah.
better. I'm just role modeling it.
Yeah. And then we just do the same thing.
It's a beautiful thing, and that's what you're
It's
doing.
amazing
for
how
your
that
people.
works.
It's
I
really
don't know.
amazing that, right? That law of the lid's powerful.
Yeah.
So if you're in it, because a lot of people are in situations where the people, and that's why I left Reno. My lid was too low for me. Right? My lid
Yeah.
was too low. And that's why I came to Austin, because it was like when you're thinking bigger than the people that you work with, you need a new platform.
Yeah.
And I thought there was a bigger place than Austin to come. I'm so glad I did, and I know you.
There you go.
And so many other great people. This has been amazing. Okay, so what advice as we wrap up, because I see that we're coming on the hour here. What advice would you have for somebody that that maybe is not succeeding at the level that they want to be succeeding at in life? Any advice for them?
The best advice is, I would say, find an example of what it is that you want, a mentor, a coach, and then just ask yourself, who do you got to become to get what you want? You know, what do you got to sacrifice? And just go at it. That was, just Nike, just do it.
And it's funny because so much of what holds people back is like what you started at was what held you back.
Yeah.
These people's limiting beliefs, it's all in their head. It's not even real.
Yeah.
It's not even real. It's something they made up about themselves that doesn't even exist, that they're not capable of that, right?
Yeah.
It's astounding to see the power of that is when people can see, why not me? Instead of saying, oh, I can't because then no, why not me?
Yeah.
Why can't my life be greater?
Yeah.
Why am I not deserved? Ask those questions.
Trying to do a counseling session.
Dang.
Man.
Hey, we bring it home on this show. We bring it home because it's about changing lives.
Yeah, it
Jesse,
is.
I mean, why do you have a team? You don't have a team because you were bored one day. You have a team because you want to impact those people's lives.
Yeah.
That young man out there that's 11 months on your team that closed 8 deals, his life has changed because you let him into your world and you're showing him the way. You're lighting the path for him.
Yeah.
He will never be the same again because of knowing you. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That's powerful.
It is. You know, they say you have a born date and an end date, but what's in the middle? You know, the dash in the middle. Yeah.
That's right. What's your dash?
Yeah.
Yeah. And what's that going to look like?
You made me
right?
think about that again.
Huh?
You made me think about that.
Yeah, it's powerful.
Yeah.
And powerful. In fact, and I've talked about this before, but the B and D, the day you're born, the day you die, the other thing besides dash, there's a letter between that, C, right? And C stands for choice.
Yeah.
Right? And on that dash, there are all the choices you make your whole life.
Whoa, okay.
Right?
No.
It's powerful.
Yeah, it is.
Because it's in a way, if you can let go and not judge the past, it's powerful because I'm in control of my future. I choose who I hang out with. I choose who I do business with. I choose where I focus my time. Everybody has the same amount of time in the day, but what you do with it, right?
24 hours, yeah.
And you live for right now, though. You live for right now because right now is going to take you to the future, right? It's so powerful.
It is.
Like, I love seeing you lead these people.
Thank
oh my
you.
gosh, I love it. I'm so proud of you. Can you tell?
Thank you.
I get a little excited. I have a little bit of passion fire in my belly, but okay. So we're going to wrap up the show. Anything that I didn't ask you that you would love to share about either your journey or your philosophy in life or anything? Because again, playing to win is such a huge powerful thing, right? Like playing to win compared to playing not to lose. And the second half where this podcast will live is that you win or lose the game like in the second half.
Yeah.
Like your 49ers. Are you looking forward to the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
I mean, that was something, huh? I know this is totally irrelevant for anybody that watches this or listens later on, but let's talk about that game for a second. Can we talk about that game?
Sure.
Okay, so I'm California girl, right?
I know.
I'm West Coast.
Yeah.
So I've been 49 or anything, now I'm on the Rams because my neighbor plays the
Yeah.
kicker, the kicker, all the things. Like, but I've never been a team. I'm team KW, right?
Yeah.
But in sports, I'm that person. I like a championship anything, okay? So I'm watching Lions and the 49ers there at their the semifinals. Whoever wins this game goes to the Super Bowl to play Kansas City, right? So I'm like, I'm watching that game because I'm excited now because it's the best. Well, I don't know if you know this, but we have a player here. His name's Chris Houston. He was a cornerback for Detroit.
Okay.
Okay. So now I'm like, well, now I got a Lion on my team. So I'm kind of pulling for the Lions,
Yeah.
So I'm like, so don't be mad. No hurt feelings. Okay?
No hurt
This
feelings.
is a safe place on this podcast. So I'm like kind of rooting for them because like they haven't been in so long and all that. And you look at that first half of the game and what happens going into halftime.
Somebody decided they're gonna come out and play to win.
Right, but let's say what happened when they walked into when the first half was over and they walked in what was the points on the board?
Oh, they were behind 17. San Francisco was behind 17 points.
They were behind. They were like it was like 10-27 or something, right?
17
a lot of
points.
people could have said
17 points.
A lot of people said it could have been over, right? But it's the second half.
That's right.
And who showed up in the second half?
49ers.
49ers. And they came out that third quarter and it was 1, 2, 3.
Yep.
Back to back touchdowns.
Yep.
And then it gets to the last few minutes and instead of kicking, right, to like even, they tried to score and 49ers take it home. So 49ers will play. That's what I'm talking about in life.
Yeah. You just can't give up.
You just don't give up. And so many people give up. So, oh my gosh, interest rates are high. Oh my gosh, this. Yeah. Guys, it's the second half. It's always the second half. Once you're a certain age, it's always the second half. The rest of your life, it is always the second half. So how are you showing up? Isn't that powerful? Though?
Yeah, yes.
That's like you, man.
Yeah.
You're never like done. You've never arrived. You just keep building and building and like, what else can I do for my team? What else can I build for myself?
Yeah. Because I like the results. Yeah. I like creating good results for myself and also for my team members and all that.
Platinum level. I know you're bling bling. I know platinum level. I see you, Jesse Myles. I see you. Yeah, and that's amazing. But it is about results.
Yeah.
It's about results, but you can only get to the results when you do the activity.
Yeah.
And so I remember I asked you if you wanted your junior partner to come in and listen. You're like, no, have him stay out here and lead gen with these youngsters out here, right? And
because he's out there with Seth,
With Seth, who's a master at it, right? Yeah. Exactly. It's pretty cool. But it's always about learning, taking people with you. I think that's really cool.
Yep.
And I think you're playing to win, my friend.
Thank you.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you. Once again, I've been in this market center for forever now.
A long time.
Yeah, no. Yeah. It's like 2024 now.
That's amazing. It is. So what, it's 12 years?
Ooh, yeah.
I know.
I'll be 50 this year too. So that's my second half.
Okay. All right. Gets better and better.
There you go.
It's better and better. It's going to be a good second half for you. I can tell. Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, keep showing up the way you show up, Jesse.
Thank you
for
being
my guest. Thanks for being our watchers. And we see you on the next episode. Bye.
Bye.
Go 49ers and Chiefs. We'll see you. We'll see who takes it. Okay.
Yeah,
you have a prediction? You have a prediction? I can edit all this out. You have a prediction?
It's hard. I'm a Raiders fan. So
you are Raiders. You're more Raiders.
It's
but
hard
for
me.
There, right? They're playing in Vegas.
But it's hard for me to root for the Chiefs.
Is it okay?
But I think
all my Chiefs fans don't, Swifties.
But if I had to make a prediction, I hate to say that. I think the Chiefs are going to win.
You think they're going to buy a lot or just
it's going to be a close game.
Close game? Okay, we'll see. All right. We got this recorded.
I
can edit all this out for the podcast. All right. Well, hey, congratulations to both teams for making it to the Super Bowl. That's a huge honor in itself, right? So now, of course, I'm looking forward to the halftime shows always. The halftime show is always a perk. So.
It'll be the Usher show.
Yeah, Usher. Okay, thanks for listening. Play to win, guys.